This is the men's room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
You're listening to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Say hello to our friends jumping on right now at WAAF Boston's Rock Station, also 98.9 The Rock in Kansas City, Big Dog 97.9 Joplin, Missouri, and 103.3 The Fort Rockin' in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Welcome to the show, guys. We've got Weed Week going on, day 3. Who Sucks Less coming up. What you don't need to know gets obscure with some crazy rules in sports, and we're talking about basically what someone was wearing when they did whatever it was they did, as we have a couple of stories. One of them about a man who tried to rob a GameStop with a box on his head with plastic from a water bottle. Also have a story about 2 Florida men, one dressed in a bull costume, accused of trying to burn down a house with ragu spaghetti sauce. And we have the guy who was busted for drunk driving in his underwear. The underwear said, breathalyzer, blow here. Our men's room blank question, I'll never forget what happened because blank was wearing blank. 844-999-OLA.
All right, Corey, we got you back on the line, man. So reset your story. You're with your buddy who's 6'3" and what?
We are in Fillmore, California. This was before I moved up here to Spanaway. And we are hiking 6 miles into this canyon. While we get there, there's national wildlife signs saying, you can't trespass here. It's a wildlife preserve. Well, kind of looked at each other. We already came about 3 hours and 6 miles. We weren't going to turn around. So we went, did our thing, hung out. We come back. There's a forest ranger hanging out by our truck. He proceeds to ask us, hey, so you guys went past that. We already know. You guys mind if we have your identification? So we're showing him our identification. He then looks at Matt, looks at me and says, so, you guys bring any pot? I look at him and I tell him, yes, we did. Matt jumps on the gun and says, no, sir, actually, I don't smoke any pot. Cop looks at me, smiles. I look at Matt and I tell him, dude, look at your shirt. Matt's wearing a bright white tank top with a pot leaf that says it's 420 somewhere.
Oh, Matt.
Yeah.
So what did they do? Give you a ticket for walking in a natural place?
Thankfully, he was pretty cool about the whole pot incident, but he did give us a ticket for trespassing.
And how much is that?
That was a $150 ticket.
Okay.
It wasn't too bad.
All right.
$150, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Why would you have a trail where you go 6 miles?
Mm-hmm.
And then right there, they go like, all right, stop, turn around. Like, you probably shouldn't have the trail. If you're going someplace where you can't go, no matter how far it takes to get in, like, you could walk 6 miles into Area 51, but there's going to come a time where there's going to be a fence that says you can't go any farther than this. You're going to go, oh, now what do I do? Am I going to keep going? Am I going to turn around and come back? Well, you probably should turn around. Mention blank question. I'll never forget what happened because blank was wearing blank. 844-999-OLA.
Yeah, it's like when you go on certain hikes on certain mountains, you have to like specifically stay on the trail.
Yes.
They won't let you just kind of march around in the woods.
Cart path only is what they put on that.
I just assume it's for a good reason. Like, I don't mind breaking rules and stuff, but like on the trail, I'm like, I believe them.
I think the worst thing I ever did in a national park, took a rock.
You took a rock? Well, they say you can't take a rock.
Don't take the rocks.
Is that is a rule?
I probably took a seashell.
General rule from all national parks, like just leave it there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
what park did you take it from?
Gettysburg.
Okay.
You took a rock from Gettysburg, man.
Well, it's Gettysburg. It's famous.
Hey, look, I
know.
I had a bunch of old shells that collected. I don't know where the hell I got them from, but either way, I think I got them from the East Coast. Yeah, they're in a ball jar or whatever. One of those things where your kids go and they collect shells and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So my daughter or somebody, maybe it was me, decided to kind of spread them out on my gravel outside. And while we're doing this, it's me and my kid. This woman walks by and she goes, those are protected. You're not supposed to take seashells. And my daughter goes, these seashells are from the Atlantic Ocean, from the beach. She's like, yeah, they're protected there, too.
On the beach?
Oh, yeah. It was just like, Jesus Christ, man.
What do you say? Can you just stop talking to me?
Like, please, man, seriously, just go away. I don't know where you're from, but just leave.
They're protected. You're not.
Yeah, exactly.
Shut up.
Right. I'm pretty sure that these shells kind of look like, I don't know. No, I don't even know what the hell they
The same shells that I could buy on the boardwalk.
Exactly.
Who, by the way, they pulled them off the beach, ran them under tap water, put them in a bucket.
That's what people do. You stroll the beach, you get shells.
Yeah, they walk in the morning.
Especially little kids.
It's kind of, it's like,
good God,
dude, my mom still does it.
What, collect seashells?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know. And she's in her 70s.
And what does she do with them?
She puts them in a plastic bag, and then when she leaves, she forgets them.
Oh, okay, cool. I'll never forget what happened because blank was wearing blank. 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Nathan. Welcome to the men's room. Hello, Nathan.
Hello, Ola.
We'll get back to
Should we let the pocket dial continue?
We'll just let him figure it out.
He's probably just walking around his kitchen.
Hello, Justin. Welcome to the men's room.
Naked.
Hola, how are you guys?
Hola.
Hey, that's a lot of energy. That's good. Hey, so way back in...
What are you, a life coach? Good God, man. It's a lot of energy. That's good. I like where you're coming from.
Mm-hmm. I just, some people get on the radio and they're just like, hey, what's up? And I'm all about energy. Anyway, back in Desert Storm, I was a young 18-year-old. And
energetic, I bet.
Highly energetic. And so we're sitting over there and we're in a bivouac site. And we hear the tanks moving and we could hear... war pigs playing on these speakers, and all of a sudden, pressing over this dune are 4 M3 Bradley fighting vehicles, and on the top of 2 of them is 2 of the tank commanders wearing just their boots, a pair of boxers, and their CBC helmet, yelling, woo! And I will never forget, every time I hear war pigs, I picture these 2 guys standing on these tanks whipping through the desert.
Is that an image you want in your mind when you hear war pigs?
Yeah.
I just think, for me, it's just one of those things that goes back and we're like, I will never see that again, but I will always be able to talk about it.
Okay. How hot was it?
I think it was 125 or 130 around that time.
Jeez! Sorry, man, that's just...
So did you know they were coming your way, or did you hear them first?
So you can hear the rumble of the M3s, because they have a distinct whine. And they were moving with some M1 Abrams. So as a group, that combat unit was moving. And when other units are moving in the area. So they were probably, 400 or 500 meters from us. But they had these huge speakers strapped onto the front, just blasting war pigs. And they had to have been doing 35 miles an hour across the sand.
Why am I picturing Mad Max?
Yeah, exactly. Turn yourself a bit around. I'm trying to think. I'm in the desert. It's 110 degrees. I hear a rumble, and this is what I hear. I think I would have died, to be honest with you.
It was super surreal, but at the same time, it felt super patriotic at the time. So it just felt really good.
But you knew it was your people, though, right? I guess.
Absolutely.
No, it's the Iraqis playing war pigs.
They come over with boxers on and just their boots.
Yeah, they had on their tighty whities, their combat boots, and then they have a CVC helmet which has a cable so they can talk to the guy, and they're straddling the 25 millimeter gun barrel, standing on it. So I hear the music. So thanks very much.
That's fantastic.
That is not what I picture when I hear war pigs.
I like that though. I mean, you're in the desert. You might as well make it entertaining, like something. You know what I mean? That's what I would expect, wouldn't you?
You're in a desert and you're in a war zone. I think you're slightly losing your mind.
Probably.
Yeah. And it's 125 degrees outside.
That's awesome. Men's room blank question. I'll never forget what happened because blank was wearing blank. 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Sarah. Welcome to the men's room.
Hi.
Hola.
Hi.
So I went to my cousin's wedding covered in horse crap.
Boy, that's awfully nice of you. Why did you go to her wedding covered in horse crap?
Okay, so her wedding was on the 4th of July.
Oh,
and
say no more.
Right.
That's when I bathe in the poop.
Explains it all, yeah.
Of course.
So I, at the time, was working at a barn. We had 12 horses, and I was the only one working. And it's a holiday, but horses still need fed. And she was getting married at some stupid time, like noon or something like that. And so I had very minimal time to get what I needed done at the barn and then get to her wedding. So from the knees down, I was covered in mud and horse crap.
Tell me you hooked up with someone at the wedding.
Well, I went with my boyfriend at the time,
okay.
And most people there was my family, so no.
Yeah, okay.
Well, some families it doesn't matter.
And did she care?
But you didn't.
Mine it does.
No, that's a good thing.
That's good.
And don't brag. But you didn't have time to wash the horse poop and mud off of your lower half before you went?
I didn't have time to go home and change. We were already late. And we had to drive a little bit to get to the wedding, so the only way I would be able to change and get actually ready for the wedding would be to miss the entire reception and everything, which I did at my brother's wedding.
Okay.
Why did you miss his? Were you covered head to toe in horse poop or what?
No, his was, I live in Stanwood, and his was all the way down in Yelm. And I had to drop off my dog, and I had to get a different car to fit everyone in it, and then we didn't account for traffic, and it was pissing rain, so we hydroplaned the whole way there almost, and it was just a nightmare.
Do you still do the horse thing?
I do.
How many horses now?
Right now, I work with a guy who has about 4 of them.
Okay.
What do you smell like on the average day when you get home?
Horse and cleaning.
Hey,
Cleaning materials.
One more question. Did you go to your brother's reception or you missed the whole wedding?
I missed the ceremony. I got there just in time for the reception.
No, that's perfect.
Actually, no, I missed everything except for picture time.
Yeah, I mean, missing the ceremony, I'm like, chalk that up to a victory.
But no one looks at the pictures. That's just a bunch of crap. It's always a bunch of crap. It's always been a bunch of crap. And like, I'm sorry.
You're going to get 800 pictures taken. There's going to be one that they use.
And you actually have an album. Who gets an album anymore? And people still don't look at it.
No.
You still don't care. Like, every once in a while you go, oh, look, it's the wedding album in this box. But other than that, it's the
you don't pull it out.
No, the pictures aren't most of the time out, and it's just I don't know. It's like it's
not going to stop though.
No, it's not going to stop.
Yeah. It's a racket.
You got to take 360 pictures to find one.
Yeah, well, you know what you could
take
do,
one, and then there's the one you've got.
You could tell the photographer you need him for like 3 hours for a kid's birthday party. And then the rate would be like, a third of what it would normally be.
We're going to get dressed up.
And then when he gets there, you go, surprise, it's a wedding. Could you just shoot this anyway with the kids' rate? Because we're having a birthday party, too. All right. Good.
Right.
The way it'll get screwed over.
Wedding and kids' birthday party.
We'll just wrap it all into one. Men's room blank question. I'll never forget what happened because blank was wearing blank. 844-999. Ola, more of your calls coming up. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
So the guy is busted for drunk driving in his underwear that says breathalyzer blow here down in Florida. We were talking about this in the office, and we're talking about just people, ironically enough. You've seen the DUIs with the, drunks against Mad Mother t-shirt on or whatever the deal is.
Right.
We started thinking about that story from a few years back, and we dug that back up for you because it's entertaining as hell. And you'll recall maybe that this happened in Phoenix, Arizona, and in 2009. As speed cameras photographed a man in a monkey mask, basically at a speed checkpoint. Dave Von Tesmer started getting his $181 tickets last year, but it took Arizona State Police several months to realize the same driver was repeatedly triggering speed cameras and refusing to pay the fines. By the time they did, more than 50 of the tickets had become invalid because the deadline for prosecution had actually passed. Von Tesmer, who has amassed $67,000 in fines, is fighting each citation by claiming he was not behind the wheel. In Arizona, people who receive photo enforcement tickets in the mail have 4 options. They agree they were driving, they pay the fine, they say they were not driving, and send in their driver's license photo as proof. They request a court date and fight the ticket, or they simply ignore the ticket because law enforcement can't prove they received it. The ticket becomes invalid if a violator who ignores it isn't served in person within 3 months. So that's kind of good to know, too, right? Well, they served Von Tesmer in person with 37 tickets, mostly between going 11 and 15 miles per hour over the speed limit. The pictures accompanying the ticket show a driver wearing either a monkey or giraffe mask in a white Subaru, which has black and white checkered racing stickers on the sides and a sticker on the windshield that reads, Bucktooth Racing. It's a peaceful act of resistance. That's what this country was founded on, said Von Tesmer, a flight attendant from Houston. I'm not thumbing my nose at DPS, but photo radar is not a DPS officer protecting public safety. It's nothing but a speed tax. Von Tesmer didn't deny that he was the driver wearing the masks, but he did say, they can't prove I was operating the vehicle. You've got to identify the driver. If you can't identify the driver, it is not a valid ticket. We have a pretty strong claim against him, according to Bart Graves from the DPS.
Bitter person.
We're just asking for his fines to be paid. Graves says that Von Tesmer has repeatedly endangered public safety and that DPS is taking his case very seriously. Von Tesmer, who said he simply drives with a flow of traffic, said if DPS does have surveillance photo of him on the road, If they can prove it, and he's not a danger to other drivers, then maybe he should be pulled over by a cop.
Fair enough.
So he says, look, if this is the case, I'm there every day. Pull me over. Since the speed cameras began snapping photos of drivers going 11 miles an hour or more over the speed limit, the backlash against them has been fairly constant. It's not just him. Speed enforcement operator Doug Giamatti, believe it or not, was shot to death on a Phoenix freeway.
Jesus.
As he was seen working with a box, somebody got pissed off and took him out.
Well, it's not worth all that.
No,
but
it's definitely not worth all that.
I do like the monkey mask. It's just like, I'm not saying it wasn't me, but you can't prove that it was.
Our Men's Room Blank question, I'll never forget what happened because blank was wearing blank. 844-999-OLA.
A comment comes in. It says, my dad's midlife crisis wife, she wears a see-through dress meeting my grandparents for the first time. No underwear, and she's only 4 years older than me. My grandmother was mad. Asked if she was a hoochie mama / prostitute. She didn't come around much after that.
Are you a hoochie mama?
That's a good term out of grandma.
I like that, hoochie mama.
Hoochie mama.
Yeah, but for a grandmother, man, she's throwing down the gauntlet.
Hoochie mama.
Calls you a hoochie mama. Mm-hmm. Hello. Damn it. Hello, Taylor. Welcome to the men's room.
Liquor and whores.
Liquor and whores.
All right, gentlemen. So I found out about alcohol poisoning. My buddy had thrown this. It was a sports theme party, and I had just shown up, and he had let me know, as it was obviously too late, that it was a theme party. But I remembered that he had this infamous man thong that we had all thrown on, when the nights got a little crazy.
Is this the Borat onesie? Is this the neon green one?
It's giraffe print, which, that doesn't come around all the time.
Boom.
So I was like, boom, I'll just slap that on, paint some muscles, I'll be a bodybuilder. So we start the drinking, and one of my friends goes, hey, I bought a couple extra bottles of vodka. There's a bottle in there. It's watermelon. I don't like watermelon. And I was like, I don't either, but I'll drink it. I proceeded to drink the entire bottle within 1 hour.
Oh.
I didn't. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So that hour comes by, and I'm like, oh, man, did you guys have any of this? And they're like, no, man, that was all you. All of a sudden, I become the life of the party. Meanwhile, again, just a man thong, painted on muscles. And that lasted for, I'd say, maybe 15 more minutes before I'm sitting in a ball in the middle of the hallway, and they're throwing balled up things of bread. Just like, eat this, eat it. I had shaken my units at everyone at the party. Everyone was over me real fast.
Yeah. And 15 minutes went from life of the party to the person
You're
everyone
walking
hates.
around shaking your unit at people. That is fantastic.
Like viciously, too. Like, it wasn't even, charming. I was like...
Is there a charming way to shake your penis at someone?
I'm sure there is. I don't know the science of it yet.
A helicopter's not directly shaking it at them. It's more like,
But is it charming? Is there a way I can go shake my penis at someone and I go, oh, that's so friendly?
It depends on if anyone finds you attractive.
Right. That's
really
starts there.
That's a common denominator in this. It's a fine
I
line
was treating
between...
it like a towel at the beach covered in sand. Like, you're just snapping it at people.
All right.
At people.
But yeah. I woke up the next morning in the bathtub. Half my muscles were off, and one of my buddies was hanging out the side. I felt great because I had puked everything up, but yeah.
How long?
Man, drink a bottle of vodka.
How many days did it take you to get right?
Oh, it was literally, I purged everything that night. I think I lost maybe 7.5 pounds.
Yeah, but still, sometimes it takes a couple days to feel right after you've been through one of those.
Sure. Well, that's why puking goes a long way.
It really does. I mean, you got to get it out of your system. If you were to go to the hospital, they would either put charcoal in your stomach or they would make you puke it out same way. Men's Room Blank question. I'll never forget what happened because blank was wearing blank. 844-999-OLA. Definitely get an IV if you're in the hospital, though.
Hello, Jeremy. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello. My story pertains to Taco Bell again.
Okay.
I was working there, and I opened the window to get somebody's money, and this guy's wearing an S&M outfit. I mean, 4 leather straps across his chest with a circle in the middle, a leather hat on, and a leather thong on.
Was he playing Judas Priest?
Yes, he was.
No, he was not.
It was pretty creepy. No, he was listening to some sort of country music.
Was it just him, or was
I walked away from the window, and I was like, "Hey, John, take care of this." He's like, "Why?" I'm like, "It's for you, buddy. Go ahead." He comes in the back, screaming and yelling at me because this guy starts hitting on him, asking what his phone number was. It was awful. It was a bad night.
You might as well hit on him at that point. You got nothing to lose.
He should be happy anyone's hitting on him.
I was like, dude, at least someo's hitting on you.
That's exactly the right attitude. That is exactly the right attitude.
What did S&M guy order?
God, this was 12 years ago. I don't remember. Something fried. I know that. It was weird.
You know, it's funny you bring this up. There was, maybe it was in England, but it happened earlier this week. There was a big-ass fire alarm at a club. The club happened to be an S&M bondage club, but the thing is, everyone evacuated, but like anything, like there was a real scare, so maybe there was smoke or something, but no one took their time to leave. Like they heard this alarm. So anyway, you know, the police, fire department, they show up, and these pictures are great, man. It's like everyone's wearing like Nike tennis shoes because it's chilly enough that you still got your gear on. But after that, man, like he was just saying, it's leather thongs, it's nipple clamps, but it's like 30 people just kind of stand there with their arms folded, waiting to get back into the club, you know. Once they got the all clear, they said like they were all real cool, very thankful, went back in, closed the door, and got back to whatever it is they had been doing.
Some guy was real excited because he's into fire play.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There was a when I was in school, there was the freshman dorms. If you were a freshman in college, you had to stay in one of these dorms, at least the first year. So the athletes as well had their own dormitory that they stayed in, which was close to the other dorms, but they were kind of more monitored, so to speak.
Yeah, but they were.
Okay. But the dorms were not unisexual. So you had a dorm full of the guys, and then the women who played athletics, they had a dorm. And then they did have a couple dorms for general students that were mixed. Okay. All right. So you could have guys and girls living in those places. Yeah. But not in the sports athletic dorms. So one night, either, I can't remember if it was an actual fire or because I wasn't in that dorm at that time, or if there was an alarm pulled or whatever. But they really thought something was going on, and it wasn't just a regular fire drill. For whatever reason, they kept these kids outside for at least like 45 minutes to an hour until everything was clear. I don't know what the deal was on that. But the next day, they put out this picture in the Daily Athenaeum, which was the student newspaper, of like these 4 chicks, right? And they're all huddled up under a blanket with their boyfriend beside them, and they're looking up at the tower, you know? Okay. Now, the problem is that they're all football players. The dorm is not for women.
Right.
And all these girls are freshmen, and they're all staying in this dorm, and none of them have any clothes on, and they're basically all underneath a blanket. Yeah. And like the first comment was, hey,
right.
You know, like, I thought that you weren't supposed to have anybody up in there, you know, all that kind
Welcome to college athletics.
Exactly, right, sure. Men's room blank question. I'll never forget what happened because blank was wearing blank. 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Rich. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola. So what's your story?
Back about 20 years ago, me and a bunch of my friends were floating down the Tolt River in Carnation, and we came to a point where we had to get out and walk around some obstructions in the river. And as we did this, a guy opened up fire on us with an AK-47.
Jesus. Whoa.
There was about 20 of us. And the thing is, he was naked.
The guy with the gun was naked.
He had earmuffs on for the sound.
Why was he shooting at you? Do you know?
He thought we were trespassing.
In the river?
On his beach.
Oh, so that's what you do. You fire people with an AK-47. And so did he get arrested?
Yeah, that day.
Okay, thank God.
Was it you guys that called the cops?
No, it's someone else.
Did he hit anybody?
Nope.
Jesus.
And he's naked except for his earmuffs.
Yeah.
Got to protect your ears.
That's freedom right there.
Yeah.
That's freedom.
Yeah, I guess I'd remember that moment too,
That's
man.
what America's all about right there, man. Just sitting on your back porch and naked, firing off at people who think you're trespassing on your property. America. Men's room blank question. I'll never forget what happened because blank was wearing blank. 844-999-OLA.
But there's a lot of people that have shotguns naked or want to. You know what I mean?
That want to?
Yeah.
Is there something about that appeals to you more than just finding a gun? Like, man, Make us a little bit better if we were naked.
Well, you know what, man?
Have you ever done some stuff naked? And it's like, it seems, I don't know how to explain it, but like, yeah.
Like, what have you done?
What have you done naked?
What have
where
you
you're
done
like,
naked?
yeah.
Where you're like, hey, volleyball's much better naked. I mean, like, what were you doing? Where you went? This is much better than
like grabbing the
than being
mail.
clothed.
I think I threw a football once naked.
And you're
that
like,
was kind of fun.
It was like, this is so much better than.
It just seemed fun. It seemed freer.
Who was
certainly.
who was catching the ball?
A chick.
She was she naked?
Yeah, because she was athletic.
So you were both naked,
Yeah.
throwing a football
It
again.
was one of those things like, hey, we're naked. Like,
Did you walk
Wanna
up
play
and go,
like
excuse
catch?
me?
right, it's the middle of the day. You have open space. Like, let's have a catch.
And she wanted to throw the ball with you?
Yeah.
Okay. Huh.
I can dig that.
I'm just
Okay.
saying some things, you know, like a
I'm
lot of
going to
people.
the wrong parks.
A lot of people look, well, you got to get outside the city.
Okay.
That's where this stuff happens, man.
All right, okay.
You got to go real rural.
All right.
To get into like naked football.
How'd she look?
Well, good.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Could she catch and throw and all that?
Yeah.
How about
said
you?
she was athletic,
How about
man.
you?
Man, you've seen me throw a football. It's
I know. I was
terrible.
just thinking, like, how messed
Naked
up-
Ted doesn't throw it any better.
How messed up were you there?
Hello, Rudy. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola! All right, guys, I'm a truck driver, and a couple of years ago, my coworker friend Mick was driving his tractor trailer, and he got to his destination, and he backed up the truck to a loading dock of the warehouse and parked it and got out to have a smoke and walked away for a little while. And but inside the warehouse was a worker named Jason, and he decided to play a trick on the driver, Nick. And Jason dressed up in a gorilla costume. And so you can picture, like in that movie Trading Places, there was a guy in a gorilla costume towards the end.
Yeah, Jim Belushi.
Yes, exactly. So Jason quietly opened the back of the truck door, and he snuck in there and was hiding behind some containers, boxes, and a stack of pallets. And he had another coworker quietly close the door. So Mick didn't know anything about this. He finally walks into the warehouse, and he opens up the back of his truck door. He steps inside to start unloading and grabbing pallets. Well, Jason jumps out from behind a container and screams at him and just scared the daylights out of Mick.
Yeah, but he did, man.
Yeah, I mean, he just about jumped out of his skin, and Mick was kind of a edgy, shaky guy in the first place, you know, chain smoking, cigarettes, and always hopped up on coffee.
Well, you're a truck driver. You got to be up, for 15 hours at a clip, so I'm assuming so, yeah.
You know, the worst part of the story, a year later, Mick, he died of a heart attack.
Oh, man.
Oh, Nick all jumped up on the speed and everything in the coffee.
Be
and
glad it
all
wasn't then.
nervous, and then a fake gorilla jumps out and killed him.
All right, now think about this, all right?
Jesus.
But like, of course it scared the guy because no one expects a gorilla to jump from behind a box and scream at him, right? Mm-hmm. But even if I said, hey, when you open that door, there's a gorilla in there, you're no less nervous.
No.
Like, that's one of those situations, like, look, even if you know there's a gorilla in a room that's going to scream at you, you're going to have the exact same reaction.
Yeah.
Oh, Ted, relax, man. Just when you open the door, just know there's a gorilla behind the box, and it's going to scream at you.
Yeah, it's like when you go on those, like, haunted walks, around Halloween or whatever. Through, like, the corn maze. I don't know. You know what I'm saying. Like, stuff's going to jump out at you, but you still get scared sometimes.
But at least with that, you intentionally went there.
Yeah.
Like this guy, you're just at work. So, like, if I go to the haunted thing, I'm not saying I'm not going to jump, but, like, I'm kind of prepared for it. You know what I mean? Like, I gave them money for this experience. But if I open the bathroom door here on the 14th floor and a gorilla jumps out of the bathroom stall, I'm going to freak the hell out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just, that
I'm
is
gonna
not
run.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? There's no. I love it when you watch a movie and people say, "Man, if that were me, like brother, if that were you, you would have screamed and run just like that guy, or you would have been mauled to death just like that guy."
So, okay, coming in on the bus one day, I remember this for whatever reason. Who are the people who dress up and spray themselves in silver? And then they do that. What was that called where you just stand and people give you money? You
the
pose?
living statue?
The living statue.
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay, so one of those guys gets on the bus. He's completely covered in silver paint.
All right.
I'm on the bus with him. It's Saturday. There's not a lot of people on the bus, but he's still sitting beside me close to the front of the bus. I don't know if there's a parade going on or what the hell. There was a number of people going downtown. I don't know if it was Bumbershoot. Something's going on.
You're going to engage him.
No, actually, I'm not. Okay? So he's beside me, and I'm thinking to myself, do I say, hey, man, what's up? Because it really is,
Right.
like, what's going on? How you doing? Whatever.
Why you silver?
And he is just completely still.
What's what he does?
As still as can be. Like, he's in character already, right? And then all of a sudden, his phone rings. He's like, oh, hey, John, yeah, man, I'm on the bus, man. What's happening? And it was just so weird. Because, like, I thought he wasn't supposed to talk.
Right.
Well, he shouldn't if he's
And then
good.
his phone rings, and then he picks the phone. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm going downtown. No, I'll be there like 15. All right, cool. Yeah, man, I'll see you then. You'll see me. I'm in silver.
Right.
He hangs up. He goes right back to just perfect posture, doesn't move.
Getting into character, I guess.
He's right back into character, except for when the phone rings. Men's Room Blank question. I'll never forget what happened because blank was wearing blank. 844-999-OLA. More of your calls coming up. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Hola, bichola. You have entered the men's room.
Coming up, the return of Who Sucks Less. We will drink and toast with a shot of the day as day 3 of Weed Week rolls on. Our question, Men's Room Blank style. I will never forget what happened because blank was wearing blank. 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Josh. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
All right. First off, I'd like to say it's an honor to talk to you guys.
Oh, no, it's
Well, then
not.
life is going to get a lot better for you, Josh.
Yeah.
If this is a
the
highlight, yeah, you got to. Yeah, every day is
There's
just going to
many
get
highlights
brighter.
in life. There's many highlights in life. But anyways, the story was about 8-10 years ago. Me and another friend, actually a couple of us, we were in a car, and we were picking up a fourth friend, at a party that was just tapering off. And the house where the party was down one of those back alley kind of main roads, if you kind of know what I mean. And so we got there a little earlier, so the party was still going on for a little while. So, okay, whatever, we'll just park to the side and just chill in the car. And it's late at night, where as we're sitting there, one of us, I forget who, we look to like the right, and we kind of see down the road a little, and we see this like black figure just like walking up, kind of staggering a little. It's like, what the hell is that? And so he gets closer and closer, and it's a drunk old man in an Indiana Jones hat and a robe. And he's just like, oh, you can't park here. You got to move. This is my property, blah, blah. And, like, he was obviously drunk because you could smell it because we had the windows down when he was talking to us. But the best part, here's the kicker, fellas. He had a musket.
Oh.
Indiana Jones had a robe and a musket. See,
Yes,
that,
Indiana
to
Jones
me,
had
that's
a robe.
Like a 12-foot long musket, like a musket rifle?
Yeah, like
Like a
what's
pack
his-
powder in it, and I put
Black
it in
powder?
a buckshot, and I tamp it down,
Yeah.
musket?
like what's his name? The guy with the Alamo, that kind of musket. Like, and he even had the little blade on the end too.
No way.
And we had my friend was in the driver's seat, and I was in the passenger seat behind the driver's seat. And he had the window down, and he was slowly rolling the window up because we thought he was legitimately going to poke it through the window.
Yeah, you should.
Or shoot. And he's like, you can't park here, blah, blah, blah. We're just like, relax. We're just picking up a friend who's is in a house party right there. I forget. And he's just like, oh, and he just kind of like staggers off and starts walking away again. He's like, what the hell was that?
Huh.
And then the friend comes out, we drive off, and we tell him all about it. And, yeah, that was just, we always just remember that night because it was just so random experience.
I bet you'd agree. Without knowing this guy, he doesn't see people much.
Oh, I bet he's kind of a little hermit.
And who
But-
cares about a parking space at that point in time? You know what I mean? Like, it's not about the parking space.
He doesn't want anyone on his
Exactly.
property. He
People
is
been
that guy.
parking in this parking space for 20 years.
He's the guy who sits by the window waiting for someone to park there so he has something to do so he can go outside. He's the guy who watches outside for the mailman to come.
But I think it's these people, these are the people that complain. Like, look how things are now, right? No matter what you do, someone's going to complain because everyone's got to be upset about something. They got to be heard, blah, blah, blah. Then at some point in your life, you get old enough and you realize, like, whatever it was that you were worried about this time is absolutely, it doesn't mean a goddamn thing. But deep in your heart, bitterness and conflict are the only things you're living for. So I feel like those are the bitter old people. Like you don't have anything to complain about. You're retired, so work isn't the problem. Your yard looks decent. That's not the problem. So you just sit in your window to wait for anyone to do anything so that flame of complaint that you've used your entire frickin' life, you can still use it on something, right?
And they're going insane. If you're not interacting with other humans and stuff, like you're just sitting there. And Thrill's right. You just look out that window and it's like, that's
to
the
be
thing
angry.
that pisses you. Yeah.
Not to be You don't look out that window waiting for anything good to happen. You don't look at that window hoping to see a young man help an old lady across the street with groceries. You'd bitch about that too. You're just that person.
Could you imagine if that guy found out about Amazon? He'd be fired up.
No, he'd be like, "Why are you on my property?"
Bring it right to his front door.
Package.
Oh my God, too easy. Our question, I'll never forget what happened because blank was wearing blank. 844-999. Ola, more your calls on the way. Also still to come, what you don't need to know gets obscure with some of the more obscure rules in sports. We'll do that before we drink and toast with a shot of the day.
Hola! The shenanigans continue on the Men's Room Radio Network.